This is Matt for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store. Delighted to be joined by Michael Conlan. Michael, how are we?
All good, mate. All good.
Good stuff. I've got to talk to you about this first because it's just been announced. Jake Paul, Tommy Fury, finally been announced.
Brilliant.
What do you make of that? Sort of, Jake's been calling for this fight. It's fallen through a few times. Yeah. What's your opinion on it? Seeing what Jake's done, and obviously Tommy's now in the fight. What do you think happens?
Yeah, I'm interested. I am, but I'm not really. I'm just saying I am, but I don't know who wins. I'll be honest, I don't know who wins. I've watched a little bit of Tommy Fury. I haven't been overly impressed with him. I think I've been more impressed with Jake Paul because the simple fact he's not a boxer, and he's looked good in the fights he has been in, albeit he hasn't really fought a boxer. So it's a weird one. It's good it's happening because there's been so much shit talk between the two of them. And I'll be interested to see who wins. All I'm saying is my man Arron Chalmers beats both of them.
Well, yeah, we may as well come on to that. Arron Chalmers and Floyd Mayweather. I mean, yeah, my head is absolutely fried at the minute. About to get announced, and I saw that and I was just like, what is happening? Look, Aaron's a good lad, and he had his first pro fight on. I think he was on Harlem's undercard in Newcastle. Did well. Tricky customer for his first one. Did well. What do you make of that, Floyd and Chalmers?
I see Floyd in the background behind you, so I'm looking there going, "Yep, I'll be in the first corner." The Floyd Mayweather takes the nail. Oh my God, it's crazy. I'm delighted for Arron. He's had quite a tough year. Outside of doing with personal things. So the fact that he has been training, and he always did train hard. He was coming down. He was down in London with me training for 16 months or 18 months, I think.
Yeah.
For a bloody 4-round fight. I was like, Jesus Christ, he's dedicated. You know what I mean? He's put the work in, and opportunities were scarce. But now, he's landed the big one, the biggest, the greatest of our generation. He's got the main man, and he's going to put the first L on his record.
I tell you what, I just don't know what to say. I wake up and see these things get announced, and it's like,
that's crazy. Listen, both undefeated. Someone's always got to go. You know what I mean?
Well, it's an exhibition, so there'll be no official winner or loser in this. So
yeah,
whatever happens in that.
Yeah, Floyd's lucky. Floyd's lucky.
Your corner instructions are going to be interested. Stick the jab.
No, I'm saying no. Let's take him out. He's 45 now. He just on your side. I know you're 35, but listen, you've got him, man. You can get him, bigger man. You can put it on this guy and take him out. It's never been done, but you can do it. You can definitely do it.
I mean, fair play. I mean, it's a big opportunity. It'll be a nice learning curve if he wants to obviously carry on with this boxing.
Great experience, and I think it opens the door for him into the
influencer world,
KSI influencer kind of stuff, and I do know that the Tommy Fury fight has been put to him. The fight and the rematch. There's a rematch clause already, and he hasn't even fought Mayweather yet. So he's got a lot of stuff off the back of it, which is great, and he can definitely go into that world. And he's trained as a boxer now for a long time. I think in the last 2.5 years.
Yeah.
So the fact he can go into that world and I think mix it with the likes of your KSI, Jake Paul, Tommy Fury's, coming off a Floyd Mayweather win, it'll be great for him.
Oh, it's just some pros don't get that opportunity, and it's like
I know it's the shit thing. See about the whole influencer world, it is the shit thing because like a lot of these guys are earning way more than 90% of the pros. They're earning more now. You know what I mean? It's crazy, and half unfair, but at the same time half fair because they're in that position because of what they've done in their own kind of, lives.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you can liken it to like, I don't know, certain people have just got a fan base no matter what they do. Like if you said, I don't know, Boris Johnson as having a celebrity boxing match, people will watch that shit.
Yeah.
Not because he's a good boxer, just to watch.
That's it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a mad world. But look, let's talk about some actual boxing that's happening this weekend. Top ranked stablemate Artur Beterbiev, Anthony Yarde. Now heavily favoured Beterbiev, and rightly so. Like punches with dynamite. What's your sort of breakdown of this fight? Yarde's obviously got, I say, home advantage, for what it's worth. He believes the timing's right. What do you think?
Who knows? We all can't, predict Father Time and how things will go. But in my opinion, Anthony Yarde gets destroyed by Beterbiev. He's an animal. He's got 18 wins, 18 KOs for a reason. He must punch very, very hard. He's a very tough man. I remember him from back in the amateurs. Even then, he was a very tough man and a feared man. So I pick him to win by knockout. But, as we say, 38, you said, did you? Father Time. I see a lot of them American pros, the Earl Spencers, are saying they're back in Yarde because of that. And, there is a case for that. It could be. I don't think so. I don't think, and you mentioned home advantage. The guy has 18 fights and 18 knockouts. I don't think it matters if you're home or away. He's still coming to do what he does and just knock you out.
Yeah, when I say home advantage, I mean, obviously, Yarde's had that experience of having to go to Chelyabinsk, or however you pronounce it, went to fight Kovalev, being in that environment where everything was wrong for him. I'm sure I heard him say baggage.
Yeah, and Kovalev needed the crowd in that fight at one stage.
And also, without being disrespectful to him, many referees at that point might have, even in a championship, gone like that because he was taking a lot of shots. So it is what it is. And Anthony probably feels like with everything he's been through, like personally outside the ring, I know that doesn't always play a part in the ring, but he'll be thinking like, fate, I've been through all this. He came and made that comeback against Lyndon Arthur and sort of ran that back.
I was brilliant against Arthur in the rematch.
Yeah.
It just looked like he put the fear of God on him and then took him out, or got him out of there. I was surprised in the rematch how well he handled him and how easily he kind of dealt with them compared to the first fight. So yeah, listen, you got to give him credit. He's came through some good fights. He's put on some good performances. In between that, he's probably fought a lot of people who he shouldn't have fought. Pointless fights for him. There has been an awful lot of that with Yarde's career, and I think that's probably why he doesn't get the credit he maybe deserves. Is because of all the little shit fights in between.
He's sort of one of them where you look at and he doesn't have a massive amateur background, so he's almost learning on the job. So he's going to have maybe 10, 15 fights, but the boxing fan sees that and they're like, why are you fighting a guy with that record? And he's like, well, because I'm getting my experience now rather than like, look at Lomachenko, who's had, 300 plus amateurs. Even you like to be Adrian Broner's had like amateur fights galore. They've had that seasoning for years and years and years, whereas he's not. And then when he takes a fight against Kovalev, everyone's going, oh, it's a step too far. And it's like, well, where's the middle ground? Why would he not take that fight?
I suppose, but I do agree in a sense that they're like the building at times. It goes, you're going to beat this guy, you're going to beat this guy, you're going to beat this guy. You might have the slimmest of chance of beating this guy instead of having little ones. This guy's going to be tougher, a little bit tougher, and bridge them kind of properly instead of just making the jump. And that's probably some, I don't know who's matched him and gated him. From an outside perception, if you didn't know boxing, you're going, wow, But when you know boxing, you can see the kind of path. You go, I wish he had a bit more depth in his resume, and that's all it would be. Is he just needs a bit more depth in the resume. But listen, he's been putting on performances. He's been drawing in eyes, and I wish him all the best. I'm not here. I think he loses. I think Beterbiev destroys him, but I'm not wishing that on him. I hope he goes and wins.
Yeah, it'd be an incredible upset as well, especially when it's not just for one belt and he's got a couple to get. It'd be set up some big fights for him. Let's get your opinion on last weekend. What did you make of Liam Smith versus Chris Eubank? A lot of people before that fight, by the way, everyone I'm speaking to, writing Liam Smith off like Eubank. Yeah. I was just like, this guy's a former world champion, no matter who he fought for that belt. Been in with Canelo, Jaime Munguia. I think it's crazy. Now, did I expect that to happen? Probably. No. But he definitely went into there with more than a chance of winning. Obviously, Eubank was there and favoured. I can see why. But what did you make of what was an explosive knockout?
Before the fight, I was like, I don't know. Like, I seen everybody, going mental. Eubank's going to take him out and stuff. But I was like, how long Eubank has been around? We still don't know the full capabilities or what he is actually about, really. He had lost that kind of style of when he was younger, where he would have threw 1,500 uppercuts in a bloody round. You know what I mean? That craziness, that madness, the franticness, and trying just to get the guys out of there. His last load of fights has been just boxing, and happy to go to points. So I wasn't expecting any kind of stoppage. I wasn't expecting Liam to stop him also, I'll be honest. I was expecting a tough fight where Eubank was trying to box and Liam was going to be a bit more cute than him. He was going to get in the inside and make him work a lot harder and probably push him and take it away in points down the stretch, because he would have made him fight at a pace. But the fight itself, it was crazy. It was crazy. The fact that, in the third round, when Eubank started throwing up, because I went, well, this is what I kind of was expecting from Eubank. If he was going to do anything, I was expecting this here kind of thing. And Liam was starting there. I was like, what's he doing? He's kind of changing tactics here. And then when he took him out, I was like, it's a mark of a champion. That's how you do it. He didn't let him off the leash. He heard him. I see people talking about this fucking elbow. I'm like, fuck off. That's a load of balls. Like this, he hit him with an elbow. Bollocks, he threw punches and threw a left hook, and the elbow came around after. And if I hit him in the head, shit one. That's boxing.
I was just about to say, I was going to come on to this because this come out yesterday that I don't know if which site quoted it saying that they may have been considering an appeal about this elbow. Now, I didn't understand. So if it was a singular elbow and he went down, no punch was thrown, yeah. But for me, if it's a cluster and he's flurrying, like sometimes you catch your head coming in and things like that. Is that a case of just sort of that's what happens, or is it
part of the job? It's part of the job, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean? There's nothing you can do about that, really. It's like saying anytime a fight gets stopped on a cut, whether or not it continues on from a head clash, it should be refought, kind of, or you have to fight again. It's a little shit. I think it's just, if I'm honest, the fact that they're considering an appeal, I think it was more so that if we're going to have the rematch, we need to start building it.
Yeah.
And let's make it a controversy here of an elbow, something like that.
Just last one on this. Do you think, and I'm not making excuses or trying to take away from Liam Smith's performance, because Liam Smith, for me, such an underrated fighter, has the fundamentals down perfectly almost. But Chris has had a lot go on outside of the ring in terms of, from the outside looking at it, and it looks like there's been problems with his dad. They've obviously lost Sebastian and things like that. I'm not making excuses because ultimately Liam's a better man, but that and the moving up and down with weight, the Conor Benn cancellation. I mean, when you look at that fight now with Conor Benn and you see, people talking about the weight for this fight, do you think these factors may have had any part to play in the build-up to this?
Possibly. We can't really know. But possibly. He's had an awful lot going on in his life. And, I was impressed of how he handled the loss, and I expected him to handle the loss that way because how his father handled loss when he first lost. So I think that's where Senior probably gained most of his fans when he started to kind of show his humbleness and, you know, gratitude kind of after a fight. So yeah, I think that them things could have happened to God love him. He's had a terrible year, or a year of craziness. Obviously the worst thing being his brother passing away, and you know, they're hard times, and obviously his father being, you know, away or not around, stuff was probably an effect on him, but who knows, you know what I mean? Liam Smith put on an unbelievable performance on the night, and you know, was the winner, and rightfully so.
100%. Just before we sign this off, I know you might not be able to say much, but what's the plans? What's the plans for you this next one? Yeah, I know you were looking at world titles and things like that.
Yeah.
What's the?
Yep, still negotiations. Things are still moving in the right direction, so everything is going well.
Not gonna reveal anything when you could be
don't
out.
Need, nothing yet.
You're not giving
nothing. Nuts and Paddy's Day. That's all. It's nuts and Paddy's Day.
All right. Well, do you know what I did? I booked annual leave Paddy's Day because I was either going to be at your fight week or I'm going out. So I'm going now at least.
Smart.
I'm there for thinking, my friend. Right, Mick. Yeah. Look, thanks for giving me, you know, part of your day to talk about this, and we'll catch up when you've got further news on your fight situation and when you're back out.
Same, mate.
No worries. Cheers, pal.
Speak to you soon, mate.